So here we go, last route in the game. And obviously I'm gonna have to come back on what I said in the last video. I've done that a lot lately, haven't I? But anyway, about the TSG website, we actually know what happened and why it's down. It was not Activision that filed a copyright claim or whatever. Yeah, color me surprised. Activision is actually not the bad guy here. Doesn't matter, they're still corporate douchebags. But it was someone posing as Activision who actually filed a claim. So, yeah, of course I'm glad that there probably aren't going to be any consequences, but in a way, I think this is actually worse, because it's not Activision who filed a claim on something concerning their own content. It was something that someone decided to do as a joke. A very, very, very bad joke. What kind of life does this person have? Does he have nothing better to do than to just go around harassing charity support organizations like that? And as far as the impersonating Activision thing goes, well, this guy's is actually pretty believable because he's got the massive douche part down pat. But seriously, I had no idea this was even possible. Filing a copyright claim for something you don't even own by simply impersonating someone else. Well, actually, it's something that I probably should have known because I've been told that it was the exact same thing that happened during the whole Konjopi saga that occurred last summer. If you don't remember what happened, well, I'm sort of surprised because Chugga Conroy's channel was down for quite a while because of that. Basically, this guy just went filing copyright claims against some big-name LPers, and that got their channels down for a while until YouTube resolved the issue. But yeah, just saying, that kind of thing shouldn't be possible. Someone hasn't been doing their job if it's so easy to just file copyright claims for content you don't even own. That is bullshit, and I hope that this flaw gets resolved pretty fast. Otherwise, we might see more of this stuff happen in the future. And I don't want that happening because who knows who might fall victim to that kind of thing. So now that that's cleared up, I have an announcement to make, and one that I probably shouldn't make because that's going to cause me to get lynched by an angry mob, but whatever, I have to do it nonetheless, otherwise people are going to be asking me the same question over and over like what happened last time. Since we're coming up on the end of the game here, I'm gonna put Ocarina of Time on hold again. Yeah, it's been only, 5 parts since I actually went back to it, but that's how that kind of thing goes. The reason for that is because, well, as I said, I'm doing the very last route in the game, and I probably won't finish it today. I'm definitely not on track to do it today. It's sort of a long route, too. But I'm definitely going to finish it off in the next part, and after that I'm heading to the battleground, where every battle is going to be commentated, of course, as their major boss battles. There's going to be Barry, too, which I'm going to treat as part of the battleground, for all intents and purposes, even though he's just chilling outside of the battleground, and only on weekends, as I remember. And after that, there's the Elite Four and the Cynthia rematch. Obviously, I'm going to be commentating that too. So basically, that means there won't be any time for random banter at all. So there definitely won't be any time for Ocarina of Time. Remember, it's a side project, it's not my main thing, so this is why progress is sort of crawling on this one. And another reason, I think, why it looks like progress is crawling is that it's by far my biggest side LP yet. I think my longest one so far was Mario 64, and it had 20, 21, 15-minute parts for about 5 hours of footage. So, yeah, Ocarina of Time obviously isn't a 5-hour game. So in any of my previous side LPs, 5 videos would have meant significant progress. However, in a big game like Ocarina of Time, it's not really that much. I did some side quests before heading into Dodongo's Cavern. I did Dodongo's Cavern, which is a short dungeon, and I also did some stuff after Dodongo's Cavern, and I'm not even done with that part of the game yet. And obviously you're gonna find the Sandstorm TM in a desert. Okay, is there anything up there? Well, I don't want to go over those bridges just yet, so... Okay, so I guess I'm gonna have to head up there if I can, thank you. But, yeah, as I said, not ready to move on to those bridges just yet, because I'm trying to sort of go from south to north in a fairly organized fashion, despite, you know, this route being total pandemonium to... Well, when it comes to trying and keeping track of where you've been and where you haven't been. But yeah, as far as Ocarina of Time goes, I'm gonna finish Platinum, then I'm gonna get started on Soul Silver, and it'll be a while into Soul Silver before I can come back to Ocarina of Time again. And, okay, what does he want? Oh, I think I remember this guy! I think I do remember this guy. He's Cyrus's grandfather, right? Yeah, we already knew that Cyrus comes from Sunny Shore, and that's what he was talking about. And apparently he was raised by high expectations Asian dad, so... Yeah, basically his parents were complete asses, so he started tinkering with machines because he enjoyed the company of machines more than that of human beings, since human beings tended to treat him like complete crap. And basically, this grandfather maybe should have obeyed his instincts and taken him in regardless, because otherwise this might have prevented this whole catastrophe with Team Galactic. And is there anything here? Seriously? Well, there probably is a hidden item there, but I'm not about to bother trying to find it, looking in every single tile, and even in every single tile of wall, because it's a hidden item, and seriously, it's probably going to be something like an Ultra Ball that I don't need anyway. And no, please don't tell me what it is. If I really wanted to know, I could look it up. Same thing as usual. And by the way, a little fun thing, I don't know if you're like this too, but I'm looking at the Xatu right now, and whenever I see a Pokemon with a new super powerful ability from Generation 5, like for example, we got Drought Ninetales, Magic Bounce Xatu, and stuff like that, even when I'm playing a Generation 4 game, or even Generation 5 in-game where Pokemon can't have their Dream World abilities, I'm all like, oh crap, I'm gonna get stuff bounced back at me. Or when Ninetales pops up, oh, here comes the sun. Or a Gliscor, oh crap, it's gonna make my life miserable with Poison Heal. And by the way, the other day someone asked me why Poison Heal was so much better than Sandvale, since you couldn't use Roost in combination with Poison Heal. And yeah, of course it can Acro Fling, but there's more to it than that. It's because, on top of that, carrying the Toxic Orb gives you immunity to statuses that might be harmful, and, okay, oh yeah, I remember what I was supposed to do. Sorry, I sort of lapsed out for a second while I was talking, but yeah, it can Acro Fling. The Toxic Orb is going to make it immune to statuses that might actually be harmful to it, like Sleep or Burn or Paralysis or stuff like that. But I guess it is fairly hard to paralyze since it's a ground type and all that. But yeah, there's also the fact that the healing doesn't hog up a move slot, so you have enough room for Protect, which can sort of act as a slight healing move, as well as Scouting and all that nice stuff. You also have room for Fling, Acrobatics, and of course Earthquake. Can't pass up on Earthquake on any Gliscor ever. And there's also the fact that since Gliscor is so durable, it's going to last a while, so over time it's going to heal quite a lot from Poison Heal, often more than one Roost, and it can come close to 2 Roosts even in some battles. So basically that's why nobody uses Sandvale anymore. I think the reason why someone asked that was because I mentioned how no one uses Sandvale anymore. in my Garchomp video. And by the way, yeah, that big bridge you're seeing right now, I decided not to go over it because it leads to the far north of this route, and as I said, I'm trying to be organized in how I'm exploring this place. So this guy here is the move tutor that's gonna give any fully evolved starter with max happiness the corresponding elemental hyper beam. I wanted to press no, but whatever, let's try. Read the poster! Well, okay, I'm gonna read the poster, even though it tells you stuff that I just told you. Charizard, Typhlosion, Blaziken, and Infernape can learn Blast Burn. Blastoise for Alligator. Swampert and Empoleon can learn Hydro Cannon, and Venusaur, Meganium, Sceptile, and Torterra can learn Frenzy Plant. Though I don't know why you would even bother teaching them the elemental hyper beams, because all hyper beam moves suck, without exception. That you may not think that way if you're not used to competitive battling, but losing a turn is really that much of a drawback. Worst case scenario is you killing something, then Garchomp comes in for free, it Swords Dances while you recharge, and proceeds to tear your entire team apart. So yeah, as I said, worst case scenario, but that's usually what tends to happen. You're just begging for a setup sweeper to come in and get a free turn of whatever setup move they're using. I'd say Porygon Z is the only Pokemon with enough firepower behind its Hyper Beam to even approach being worth it. And even there, it's not that recommended, if only because of the lack of type coverage. Other Hyper Beam moves, except for Giga Impact, of course, are a bit better in that regard. That's the Elemental Hyper Beams, Roar of Time, though Roar of Time really doesn't have much super effective coverage either. There's Rock Wrecker as well, but yeah, all those moves are just not worth using, so don't ever bother with that. And, was it in the last video or 2 videos ago? I don't really remember. It's all a blur at this point. I've made so many videos. I'm over 700 right now. But, yeah, about that, Pokédex 3D thing that I was talking about, I mentioned how useless it was, and apparently, I don't have a smartphone or anything like that, but apparently there are apps for various smartphones that are basically Pokédexes that are definitely more detailed than what Nintendo's making right now, because not only do you have everything for every Pokemon, but you also have a clearer picture of things like the stats, because in that 3D Pokédex thing, well, there's a screenshot where you see the stats of the Pokemon, but it's just something like a rating from 1 to 6 bars. It doesn't say exactly what the base stat is, though I guess this is something hidden that Nintendo wants to keep more or less hidden, even though you can find them on any Pokemon site nowadays. So yeah, if you have a smartphone that has one of these apps, you can easily pass on the Pokédex 3D, because all it has to offer is the Pokemon models in 3D, but even that I don't find to be that interesting. When I want to look up move pools or base stats or whatever, I don't want to look at pretty pictures. I just want the data, and I want it quick. Because I was talking about that with my brother yesterday, and that's pretty much what I told him. He said, what about those people who don't have smartphones? Well then, they can just look it up on a desktop computer with Cerebi or anything. I guess if you don't like going to a desktop computer every time you need that kind of stuff, I guess it could be useful, even though I still can't get past the whole less than a quarter of all Pokemon thing. But, yeah, otherwise, not really worth it. I don't even think I'm going to download it, even though it's free, because, as I said, regular websites are just so much better than that. So, anyway, we're about to end this video here, in sight of the toll booth that we've already visited, that leads back to Route 226. So that means we only have a tiny fraction of this route left to go, and after that, it's off to the battleground. Man, this LP has really come and gone, hasn't it? I can't believe it.